they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tables ain't shoes, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. His fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the quarterback to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune of luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. He wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. A virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. The games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
Right, good evening, folks. Welcome back to VP4TV. We've got here at last, we have a final. We have multiple virtual world champion Albinario of Sweden up against MC underscore. Don't forget the underscore Clarkey, who's representing the United Kingdom. We have a race to 25, and that starts in a couple of minutes' time. Let's look at how these guys got to the final. Well, Albinario went straight to the final. He had a comfortable win in the first round against LS3, 19 racks to 5. And then he took out his big rival, Cobra, sent him to the one-loss side, 19-11 in round 2. And then he took another tough player and literally butchered Bill, 19 racks to, 3. And in round 4, Coldest Pillow, the up-and-coming wannabe champion, who has given him the toughest match up until now, which was 19-17. And then in the hot seat match, It was another close one between Albinario and Acero, but Albinario stretched away in the end. I think it was 1912, it says there. And for Matt, if I can find him, where the hell
Where's
is
the
he?
cue ball going?
There he is. Matt had, somebody's PMing me, but I'm busy. Matt had a 19-7 win in the first round against Bankster, and then he took out Larry, 19-14 in round 2, and then he beat Stubb. I can't remember what the score was. Somebody will remind me if they remember, but Stubb quit, of course, before the end of the match, got another fine because of it. And then Acero sent Matt to that one-loss side. And if we look at the remainder there, Matt, on the semi-final match, took out Acero, and he got revenge by a fantastic finish, is all you can say. That match is going to start now by 15 racks to 8, having been 8-3 down. So that's how we got there. And let's get in. We've missed the lag, and they've probably started. No, in fact, they haven't. So I've just got there in time. We've got Albinario on the right-hand side. And we have Matt on the left. And, of course, remember, no jump queues, race to 25. So we could be here a while, depending how things go. And I'm just going to go and have a look and see what this PM's about. Hang on a minute. We'll miss the break, but I want to just tab out and shut that down. And then we can get down to business. Right, that's Simon has told me to log out and log back in, and then I can change my name back. So I'll do that. Thanks for that, Simon, if you're watching. Right, so anyway, couple of balls in a break. Incidentally, Steve won't be here. Welcome, everybody. I haven't got time to have a look at the chat. I'm busy. But one thing I'm going to say to you guys, right? Everybody that's watching, put your prediction in the comments in the chat here. Put your prediction for the match into the chat. There will be one winner. If more than one person predicts the same score and that's the final result, then I will do a random draw online. There's a website where I can do a random draw and pick a name out of the hat. So I would put the two names if there was more than two, if there was more than, say there was 3 players all predicted the same score, then I'll put them in the hat. The prize is $1,000 V into your account out of my hard-earned cash. So whoever wants to make a prediction, obviously you have to be an online player. There's no point in putting money into your account if you're just a viewer and you're not an online player. So put your prediction in, and then I'll check those once the stream's finished and review it. Well, you can't put in 2 predictions and start changing. Don't start all that bullshit, for God's sake. I don't want to be getting confused with all sorts of different bloody predictions. Welcome, Bill. Welcome to Mark. Did I say Steve won't be here? No, I can't remember whether I did, because my mind's doing 3 or 4 things at the one time here. Steve messaged me. He's leaving to go on his vacation now. He's heading to the mountains. So he won't be in, so you'll just have to put up with me and like it or lump it. Cue ball. Oh. Well, I don't know what happened there with Matt, because I was too busy looking down the chat. So, yeah, put in your prediction for the score, and the winner will get the V dollars put into their VP4 account. So, Albinario from Matt's break, and whatever Matt did to obviously miss a ball, Albinario's got the first chance to pinch this rack. Watch this 6 ball, and well, he ain't got there. He ain't got there. He's going to have to tweak it. Yeah, it wasn't that difficult a shot. So first blood to Albinario. Six ball. Top left, one ball went into the side. I think something else might have gone. I don't think he's got a shot in the two though. Yeah, another two ball. What was it? One ball, five ball, six ball. No shot in the two. And quick look at the three ball. Three ball. Yes, it goes if you're sitting sweet on it, but it's not going to be easy. So the push out played. Now this might give Matt a bit of a headache here on what he does here, because you can obviously see the right side of the two. I don't know whether he can get it full. Because the two balls obviously going to run into the seven if he plays it full on. He could maybe use the seven to push it across, but then the eight's in the way if he's trying to send it over to the other rail. The nine ball's blocking the bank, although the nine ball could be banked in with the two ball if that happened. He's trying to catch the left side of this too as we look, spin it around the nine. Well, that's not bad, as long as it doesn't go over the hole. It's went over the hole though. So I'll be having a look at that three ball. And from the line he's got here, it is tight. I don't know whether he might be more inclined to try and play the combo. Well, it ain't a gimme this. Far from it. If you just get that line wrong, you're catching the point there and you're catching the back rail and staying out. Well, he hasn't hit it. He hasn't hit it. Well, this is the get out of jail card for Matt. Sorry, not Matt. It was Matt that was at the table. See, this is what happens when I'm looking at the chat and looking around and doing all sorts of things. I totally lose my bloody bearings here. Albinario's not missing, no. Well, I suppose it's still classed as an unforced error, that, from Matt. I take it Miasma isn't in the lobby. I don't know whether Simon's in the stream because I've not seen him in the chat. Welcome to Pool Pro, who has since changed his name. Welcome to Runout Rob. Did Matt pass? Did he? And what the hell's happened here? Again, I'm looking at the chat. How come Albinario ended up giving up the table? And right, that's enough of it. I'm gonna have to pay attention here. This is not a good start. This is not a good start. But it's definitely one apiece. Oh, he hooked himself. Right. 4 ball definitely went in the side. Something else, I think, went in as well. 8 balls gone. Can't get enough of the one, but the bank is absolutely dead. And the 2 balls wide open, so I expect this to go in. Absolutely plumb. Now, here's the problem. The problem's not the 2 ball. The problem's the 3 ball. You have got to get right on that rail. And that will do nicely. That's perfect. I think it is anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty certain he can. He might have to juice this up with a fair bit of spin to come around and avoid hooking himself behind the 9. Perfect. Unless it runs too far. No, that'll do. Well, this is where I've got my fingers crossed, folks, because every year at this time, when I have my summer holidays, as we call it over here, the car was booked in more than 3 weeks ago to get its service and MOT, and that is first thing tomorrow morning. So I will be up, try and get a game of cowboy doubles before I leave the house. The car will be dropped off for 8 a.m. when the garage opens. And then I've got my fingers crossed the rest of the day until they give me a call. In fact, I don't want a call. I want them to call up and say, right, that's the car ready. It's getting a call in the middle of the bloody service and MOT. Aye, just to let you know, the brakes need done. All right, fine. Add that to the bill. This needs done. Right, okay, add that to the bill. So it ain't going to be a cheap day out tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, it wouldn't surprise me if they actually said brake pads or something tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. Because it's been, I think it's been a couple of years since they were done. So, Matt with the early lead. Now, a nice little gap just to stun between that 8 and 5 ball. He doesn't want to stun it too good. Yeah, he's played it perfectly. That was a sort of draggy stun shot. You see, Matt's got all the comfortable touches. That's one thing he's assured of. He's quite happy to play the stroke. I probably had to check that up a wee bit. That's why that ball rattled. Now, this is touchy because the angle's a bit too high for comfort. So, again, he's checking it to straighten it up. By the way, I was reading this thing, this top fans thing, you know, where you've all got a number after your name. This is just a thing that YouTube do, and it happens for every stream, every live stream. If you've got a number next to your name, that's just to tell you that you're at the top of the table. Like if you're number 1, you're number 1 in the contributions to the chat for the live stream. So Bondi's in second place, and Cobra's in third. And that's basically how it works. And then it resets itself. Yeah, the ones that talk a lot of crap. Yeah, that's why you're number 1, Tam. Walked into that, yeah. Walked into that, proper numpty. Right, well, that little glimpse of daylight for Matt, and a problem ball to be dealt with. So, 1, 2, 3, not a problem. Now, is he going to get crazy and try and bump that 7 off the 3 and hope that he's still in the 5? I don't know. I mean, the 6 looks a far better ball to do that. Is he get any way of getting into that 7 ball? That looks far too tight. So the next couple of shots are going to be the important ones. as to whether he's going to be able to get out. That's true. I don't know whether this is a better place or not. I'm going to leave that up to you to decide. Well, he's nudged it too far. Got the break. So now he's got to kick this in. Or is he? Yeah. Yeah, he's going off the rail, and that's very well played. Excellent. Let's see if the replay is working. Yes, it's working. That was really well judged. Absolutely spot on. That wasn't, though. That needs to keep rolling. Well, you don't want to try and thin cut that in and think you're going to have a shot in the 9-ball, do you? Oh, tell a lie. I've made a mistake again because the 9-ball's in the rail, and I'm thinking that was the cue ball. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I can't even use the excuse that it's too late. It's only 7:15. That just proves how bad my eyes are on this blue cloth. Got to get this right. If he goes flush too soon, you know what happens. And he's played it okay. All square. Well, not tell a lie. He's one behind still. I've got that wrong as well. Everything's going wrong for me tonight. Where the hell's Steve when you need him? 5-ball, thought about it. But the 4 has gone. 1 and 2. 3 in the middle of the table. And he should be out. We should be all square in a minute here. Don't forget, folks, that Slim's doing the coverage of the LS. Who's the LS3 playing again? Because I haven't even looked at the schedule, even though I put it on my live stream. I'm totally forgotten who she's playing. But anyway, that match is starting when? About 1:30, is it? Oh, my, Mark Shark. Now, Mark Shark's not a complete numpty at Cowboy. In fact, in terms of the actual Cowboy side of it and caroms and stuff, if it gets down to the carom phase, I might put him as favourite. Although he'll probably let me down. Cam thinks it'll be 3-0. Albinario getting there. No, he hasn't been on for a while, Mark Sharp, but he did play Cowboy with us for a little while. But, maybe things are going on in the family or whatever, you never know. So we're all back on par. Ball on the side. I think something went up top as well. 1 ball is wide open. 2 balls gone. 2 and 5. Now, that 3 ball does go past the 8. The problem here is avoiding the 4, so he's going to have to dig into this big time here, and I don't know whether that'll even help him a great deal. Let's have a look. No, I think he might just play this with a bit of right English just to let it go forward and hit the rail. Yeah. Now, I don't know. I presume he was going to try and play that in the side. It does go, but he's going to have to hit it towards the jaw. He's not got much room. He ain't got much room at all. If he gets that misjudged slightly, it's going to catch the 7. No, that's perfect. Well, I thought it was perfect. It just went straight onto the point. I thought it was just going to catch and drop. Well, the 3 ball does go. He's got to miss the 9 and cheat the pocket just like that. Well, it's good to see Romario back. I don't know, has any of you guys spoke to him? Like I said in the, I think I said in the stream the other night, they asked him why he wasn't here, and he sort of alluded to, he made a comment about COVID. So my assumption is he maybe was badly affected by COVID, but you never know with Romario. He could be making up fairy tales. Maybe, I mean, one of you guys can try digging a hole and asking him, but I don't think you'll get much out of him. Oh, that's my main criticism about him, and it always has been. Everybody knows that. He plays far too much in a hurry. He'd be a far better player if he slowed down. So, Matt, back in front. This one's dry. And the 3 ball comes to the rescue. And this is dodgy for playing a safety here as well. Very dodgy. I think the push out is going to be... it is called. I'm just looking to see where he's thinking of going. Well, what does Matt do? He's more or less got the same position as Albi. Does he give him it back? Or does he take the bait? I mean, that will thin cut into the side pocket. I don't think the scratch is on. I think he's going to get around the 2 rails. He's trying to get cover, but I don't think he's getting there, is he? No. That was tricky to judge that. So Albinario, we say the obvious thing here, he should be back before a piece here. Now, 3 into the other corner, 4 into the corner. Right angle in the 4 to get up for the 5. That shouldn't be hard to do. Well, you see, he's gone too thin, I think. Is he going to try and drag this or go 2 rails, is he? Looks as if he's trying to drag it. Yeah. Just to kill the pace. Now, he doesn't want to bump the 9 because he could bump that 9 on top of the 8 and have no out. So he wants to avoid that. Welcome to Hazard. What are you saying, Tam? What have I missed? I'm not muted. You shouting me, Tam? What you trying to draw my attention to? What have I missed? Or is it Matt that's at the table again? Well, it was going to be 4 each. I was assuming it was Albinario that was at the table. Did Albinario miss again? He passed the push out again. Right, 2 balls gone. I definitely seen that happen. The only thing with this shot is that, I mean, he can just kill it, or he can go up into the middle of the table. So he's sort of in between shots here. Loads of room though to go off the shot railing out. Is that match due to start? Is it 5 minutes it's got to go? I think it was 1/2 the hour it was meant to start. In fact, now that you mention it, who was it that said that Mark Shark hasn't been? He might not even show up. Is Mark Shark actually in the lobby? Has anybody checked to see if he's in the lobby? Bottom of the hour's 7:30, or whatever time zone you're in. It's 1/2 the hour. Anyway, it's a 6-3 lead here for Matt. 8 ball going in. Amongst something else as well, I think. 2 balls gone again. Dodgy cut in the 1, but the 3 balls very handy. So he gets this, gets the 3, and he's overcut it. And Albinario has got the thin cut now. It's gone to the rail, but it stays in the line just. So back up top for that 4 ball. Again, shouldn't be a problem. Back down the bottom for the 5. So Albinario is going to rescue one of the 3 racks that he's trailing. Has anybody, I haven't seen the news today, has anybody got any update on that Texas flooding? I mean, all those kids are all missing. So, I mean, you know, you don't want to be negative and depressive, but I mean, they're going to be finding a lot more bodies, aren't they? I haven't seen an update, so I don't know what's been happening, but I just know there's a lot of those kids at that camp that are unaccounted for. Well, we're wondering if anybody's going to get on a roll here tonight. Get this break working, find something that works. This time it's a 6 ball that's gone. 1 ball in play, 2 ball. Plenty of room past the 4. No room past the 5. Again, loads of inside on that cue ball. And, well, if he was further off the rail, it'd be a lot more comfortable. He's going to have to dig in and get the stun. Even if he just stuns over to past the side pocket, he's got a fairly comfortable cut in the 3. Yeah, he's got right down on it, though. "11 girls are missing." I thought there was 20 odd or something still unaccounted for. Is it down to 11? Well, I suppose that's better news. 21 of the kids have died. I mean, that's the thing. You've got to question the fact that, I mean, these people that set up this camp, you've got to question their thinking when it's next to a river, and bearing in mind the type of weather conditions that you can get in that part of the world where you do get heavy thunderstorms, and the heavy thunderstorms can be 100 miles away. You don't, I mean, let's be honest, you don't expect that to happen, but that's what happens. That's what happens with natural disasters. You just do not know it's coming. And then I saw in the news this morning, that was the last time I'd seen the news before I went to work. And I don't know whether it was the journalists or the press were questioning the authorities, saying that why weren't they given warnings? This is a bloody flash flood. These things just happen like that. If it's a tornado warning, they can give them, the tornado alarm and all that stuff. But something that could be happening miles and miles away, you don't know. Well, I'll be played the combo, and Matt with the opportunity to restore that lead. In fact, that's what I was going to do. Let me just tab to the lobby chat. Hang on a minute. Let me bring that up and see if we can get it working. And we'll tab to that. Right, so very early stages of that match. So if you get bored here, you can go and watch that on Slim's Twitch channel. Meanwhile, Matt is doing the necessary here. So has everybody put in the predictions for the match score? Any latecomers who've joined the stream, if you're a VP4 player online, then put your match score prediction in the chat. There's $1,000 V prize to the individual who selects the correct or predicts the correct score. And there will only be one winner, because if there's more than one of you predicts the same score and it wins, then I'll put the two names, or however many names there is, into an online random draw maker thing, and whatever name comes out first will be the winner. Simple as that. So the scratch from Matt, and Albie wasn't planning on this happening though. He's played the combo and killed the one ball. They're actually married up, the 1 and 5. can I predict when a few rack... I can't see the end of that sentence here until the chat goes up, because I've got a bloody heart symbol on the chat on the phone. I can't see the end of that sentence. Well, the one ball will go. Just missed the 7. So here's the shot to win the rack. And again, very well controlled. Doesn't want to be straight. Now, does he want to stun this in? And he's going to have to smack this to get this up above the 5, unless he just tries to squeeze below the 7. That's probably the sensible shot there. And he's perfect inside the 5. Cue ball will be going out into the table. Yes, don't forget to hit the like button, please. Do it now. That way you don't have to remember to do it later on. Just hit that like button. So at the moment, Matt is just keeping Albinario at arm's length. The only worry that Albi's got is that 3-rack lead at the moment, if this break kicks in, it could suddenly be 6. And the break certainly worked that time, although that bump in the 3 hasn't done him any favours. Now, is it the push? Or is he going to have a kick at it? I mean, the obvious thing, if you're pushing, if you come down to the bottom of the table, you're leaving the possibility still of a cut up the table on that one ball. So if he stays square, he'll allow Albinario to run away and just send the one ball down behind the 8. Well, maybe not so with the line that he's got there. Trying to duck. He hasn't hit it. He hasn't hit it, and that's a poor one. A very poor one from Albi. The thing is, if he tried to go up the table, the chances are that one ball was going to bank into the 8 anyway. But he didn't come up with a better solution. Blind pocket cut, and it's tight at that angle. It's tight past that 7. You're really aiming for the far jaw to give you all the pocket, but he's played the bank instead. But it hasn't held the line. And he hasn't got the second prize this time, so Albi's got out of jail here, or at least he's got the opportunity to get out of jail. Welcome to Vertical Liquid. So we are, 39 minutes into this final. And Albinario just being allowed to stay in touch here. I've got a quick drink. Well, I can't recall whether I've seen a one ball going into that left side pocket yet tonight, or the right side for that matter. I think the balls, most of the time the balls have been up top. The odd ones went into the side. But they're not, I don't know whether they're searching for that one ball on the side. Anyway, the break's given up the 2 ball, the 5 and the 7. And the 1 ball's covered. Well, this is asking for trouble here, Albie. This is asking for trouble because look at that curve of balls to hide behind here for Matt. But again, you've still got to actually execute the shot. Ideally, he wants to get around into here. And that's what he's tried. And that is tight. And again, like that earlier shot we saw, if he's going to try and pot this, he's going to have to tweak it around 8. I think it's very tight. He might be able to get there. I think he might. I think he has got the room. It looked tight. But he's got it. So Matt didn't quite get there. Better coming off the rail, but I think he could just go straight forward and back across, yeah. So this looks like Albie's going to be back within 1. So we're into rack 16. And 3 ball into the right side, 5 ball bottom right corner, 1 ball wide open at the moment. And still available. Again, it's a dodgy cut, and of course he's bumping the 2. He could bump that in line with the 7 here. Now, ideally, he wants to go forward, bump the 2, and if he's going forward enough, he'll have the 2 into the corner, possibly. No, he's going the other way to avoid that. I think he's contemplating the side pocket. So the cue ball's running loose. And it's running behind the 9. Oh.
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
Well, going for the kick. Really the kick and hope. Could he get past that 9 ball though? Yes, he could. Oh, he might be getting a good one here. He might be getting a good one. Oh, yes, he has. Well, he'll take that. Now, has Cameron Norrie won or lost his match? Because I switched that when it went to the 5th set and to get ready for the live stream. That other guy looked as if he was getting the better of him. Somebody tell me what happened in it. I'm talking about Wimbledon, of course. Don't tell me none of you were paying any attention to what was happening in the tennis this afternoon. I'm not getting much response from you. So once again, it's Matt with that opportunity again just to keep Albinario away from him. But just the odd couple of racks though. Well, we're waiting for somebody to take control of this match yet, but it ain't happening. And I think that was dry. Is the cue ball going? Oh no, it hasn't. It's in behind the 3. I couldn't see the cue ball there for a second. So a ball is gone, 2 balls gone in the side. Push out again. Bank isn't on, of course, with the 6 ball being there and the 7 ball being in the line as well. We could try and be really, really dirty here, but this is a really touchy shot. I think he's sending it to the 4 ball. And that'll do. Very nice. So nobody's even doing me a favour in finding out what happened to the Cameron Norrie match. There's not a bugger of you, not one of you is taking the time out just to tell me what happened in that bloody match. Thanks very much. Got the hit. Cue ball's going to take a big chunk out the 4 ball. Now, he might just play this dead weight. I think that's a sensible shot because that's the only way he's guaranteed he's going to see the 3. If he starts banging at this to try and get out there for any reason, it could all go ugly. He's just got to play the cut and let the cue ball hit the 4 and he'll still have a shot in the 3. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder if the actual the chat's still working here. Nobody said anything. Are we all engrossed in it? Maybe that's what it is. That is a reasonable enough line. It won't be a problem that he's going to bump the 9. In fact, he might get second prize here as well. He might get the full prize if he bumps the 9 into the corner. No. Well, the 7 ball is off the rail. He's just got to make sure that he stuns above that side pocket, really. And not in it. Well, he just got there and no more. So Matt's the first player to double figures and gets back to that 3-rack lead. Eight ball right side pocket. One ball is available up into the corner. Into the side. The problem with that, of course, is the angle you're coming off that 1 ball at and where the 2 ball is. But if you take it into the corner, it looks as if you're heading that direction, sort of towards the 7 ball direction and behind the 7 to see the 2. How he's going to get to the 2 from this line, he's going to have to dig in like that, but that was so difficult. And he's not got the hook. And there's not a full ball there available, so it's got to be a very thin edge and try and miss that 4 ball. Which he's managed to do. But he's left an edge. Now, that could be tucked right behind the 9 in a second or two if he gets this wafer thin. Yeah, hit it thicker than he would have liked, but he'll still settle for that, though. Now, this could work out good, bad, or ugly if he gets this full in the face and try and stop that cue ball there. The only worry would be the 6 ball. But he could accept that. He could accept that every day of the week. He's kicked it in. He's on the 2. Big pocket. Well, that's a bonus for Albinario. Just at the right time. Norrie won it in 5 sets. Thank you very much. God, that was like getting blood out of stone, that, trying to find a result. Thanks for that. So, little stun up behind the back of the 7. Well, these guys have been trying hard, but nobody's really putting anything together here so far in this match with the break. It's sort of tit for tat, really, the way it's gone. Which means, of course, that the match just goes deeper and deeper without really having a clear-cut sort of guy that looks that he's going to win it yet. But the longer it goes where Albinario's not quite got there, the more things work in Matt's favour. But there's always that threat from either player that one of them could suddenly hit a roll and put 3, 4, 5 racks together. Matt, Albinario, 2 behind, good table. Expect him to be 1 behind. Well, he's it's went far enough. That's fine. I wonder if these guys, or if one of them's going to go at the bathroom at some point. Not that I need to go to the bathroom, but I'm just wondering. I'll have another quick drink. I will need to go to the bathroom if I keep drinking this water. Well, Albinario. Cue ball. Almost there. But he's got the 7 ball. Is he? I think he's corner hooked, is he? Yes, he is. He most certainly is. Well, that 6 ball's the target. The 6 and 9. Matt's got an 8 ball that'll act as a stopper. The only danger, of course, is a scratch in that top left-hand corner pocket. That's the only worry you have here. Well, he might be asking for trouble himself here in a second, Matt, because he didn't get the length on it. Albinario's going to have a go at the same shot here. Now, if he goes narrower and thinner, he could end up bumping the 6. I don't think that's getting there either, is it? Yes, it is. Just got there. Well, I think the 5 ball's the way of the kick. The commentator's eye says the 5 ball's in the line. It's very much in the line. And if he's going to go above the 5, he's going to have to spin it. Unless he's trying to go behind the 2. Is that the 2 ball? He might be going 2 rails. No, he isn't. He did spin it. That was very well judged. Let's have a look at that again. Did he spin it up at all? Did he have a bit? Maybe I think he did have a bit of right on it. Eventually. Oh, if this bumps the 3. Oh, it's just grazed it. Well, he can make the line for the bank if he fancies it. It's not dead set, but he can make that line for it. Yeah, it wasn't guaranteed. But is he getting cover? Oh, this is tight again, this. I think he's just got enough room. Yeah. So this could be, I think, really the first time in a long while. I think it went to 3 apiece, did it not? But anyway, Albinario looking favourite now to square this match up. Perfect angle in the 3. Well, I say perfect angle. He's got to play the little stunny draw shot to avoid running to the 5. He's judged the pace very nice again. Nice little bounce. Well, he can go 3 rails. He can come straight across. He can do whatever he wants. Well, this next break, is it going to set Albinario up for a little run? Turn the match in its head. Well, I think the 5 ball went in top right. No shot in the 1 though. It's going to be one of them nights. That run that Matt had in the match against Spectre Dawn, that run was all about not only getting the ball in the break, but you know, most of the time, pretty much most of the time, he was on the 1 ball every time. And then the rest was sort of elementary. As the saying goes, where's that cue ball going? Well, again, you've got to maybe bump the back of the 6 here, or at least catch it enough to hold the cue ball and still have the 2 up the table. He tried to bump it, or well, I don't know whether he played that like that, but anyway, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's still got the cut into the side. Albinario looking a very strong favourite here to finally take the lead. There's a 4-second delay on YouTube. I've just counted it there. 4-second delay from what I'm seeing here to what I then see on the live stream. It's no more than 4 seconds. Well, now Matt just has to be patient because there's nothing he can do. Well, that 8 balls bumped to 1 enough, and there's no problem getting in the 2. And suddenly, things are shaping up a little bit better as far as the break goes for Albi. Right in the middle of the match. One hour and 1 minute old, this match. And we're not halfway home yet. I still say it was better in the old days in VP3 when the final was a race to 41. Was it 41 or 43? I think the semi-finals were a race to 41 and the final was a race to 43. That was a stamina test. Welcome to Bedhead. You've just come at the right time. Albinario is finding a gear here. That last rack took him into the lead for really the first time in the match. And now it's a 2-rack lead. Oh, this time he's dry. And of course, when you come up dry, what happens? You leave your opponent plumbing the 1 ball. Now, he's slightly the wrong side in this 1 ball, so again, he's got to get back out into the table. He's checked it up so he can see the 2. And he's just held it enough. One thing to mention, Bedhead, I asked all of the viewers who are VP4 online viewers, that is, to put in your prediction into the chat for the match, and whoever predicts the end result, bear in mind you've not, well, it should have been done at the beginning of this, but I'll still give you the opportunity. You can put in your prediction for the score, and the person that predicts the score exactly will win $1,000 V. No, we're not halfway home yet. I'm making up the rules. I'm giving him that opportunity. That's if he wants to take part. He doesn't need to type anything if he doesn't want to. But Matt, now the shoe's in the other foot. He's trying to stay in touch. Cobra will get upset. Who cares if Cobra gets upset? Well, Cobra will get upset if more than him predicted the outcome, and then when I do the random draw, he doesn't get picked. Cartreon, that must be Swedish. No, it's not. It's actually Cobra trying to type English. Cartreon, who cares? That shows you he's upset because he's obviously battered his keyboard there in anger. Well, Albinario's lead for the moment was fleeting. After 24 racks, we can't split them. Now, that 9 ball's going in, so we're giving him that. Let's have a quick look in here. Well, they're down to the caroms, and like I predicted, Mark Shark is in the lead. Is that going to get there from LS3? No. And the break was dry from Matt, but safe. You see, Romario's not a participant. He doesn't get involved in participatory. As somebody say the word, he doesn't want to come into the stream. He's in and out the room like a yo-yo. So push out played, and there's a lot of balls to hide behind here for Matt, either at the bottom end or the top end of the table. I don't believe he'll play the bank. But there is a line and a gap between that 2 and 3, just to drop behind that line of 3 balls there. Try and tuck the one behind the 5 and 7. No, he's trying the other way. And that'll do. That will do. It's tight to get around there. Having to spin it. Got the hit. Well, no doubt this time that Albi is going to put Matt in a whole heap of trouble here. Now we need to look at the line of balls. I'm pretty certain they all go. Yeah, they're spaced apart, so everything's on. The question is, what does Matt do? Is he looking to get a hit in this? He's going to have to be up and down and hit the back of the one if he can. And it's tight to hit it direct. It's a very narrow line to come up and down. Not trying to go behind the 8 ball, is he? Yes, he is. That was really, really difficult. So, well, if you look where the 4 ball is up the table, not the 4 ball. The 4 balls there, 2 balls up there. The problem is the angle he'll have in the 4 ball to try and get down the shorter side of this 5, because it does go. I mean, there's not a problem in the 5 ball potting, but it's only going to pot from one side, really, unless you're finishing up here. Somewhere like that, where you can cut it and come in the gap between the 7 and the 8 ball. Well, he's got what looks to me a good enough line in the 3 to get a good enough line in the 4. Needs to bounce. And that is perfect. He's just got to get it stunned enough. I'm sure he's got enough to make this work. I mean, he's considering the high cut. I think that might be what he's looking at, and I think that's probably what he is going to do. He had two choices, leaving the high cut. No, he is trying to get there the other side. And he's got there. I thought for a second there he was going to leave the high cut, but anyway, he bit the bullet and played the shot. So same sort of shot, a stun again, down the left side. He could have done with getting that wee bit closer. It would have just made it a bit more comfortable. He's a bit higher than he would like. He might end up just... No, he was fine. He could drag the pace off it again. He's to slow up. It's gone to that spot, folks. Nobody likes these. I don't care who you are. So this to go back to one in front and right in the heart of the pocket. Right, quick look. Oh, LS3 won the first one. She pinched it off him. Well, I think Mark Schatt had his chance there in the carom phase. He was either 3 or 4 points in front when we last checked, so he's lost that battle. But of course, as was mentioned, he hasn't been around for a while, so he's certainly lacking in table time. Oh, it went right down to the wire. There you go. So it looks as if Albie was dry. There's Matt's back at the table. Well, I think he'll go right over to the right side, because that should give him the angle to drop round. Well, maybe not. I think he's gone straight. Yeah, he'll just roll through. By the way, there isn't a prize for somebody who gets closest to the who gets the closest prediction to the score. You've got to get it on the money just before anybody starts making up their own rules. One ball right side, 2 ball very handy, 3 ball way up top, and Matt, once again, barring some disaster, should be back in front. You just got a wee bit more work to do with the cue ball, but loads of room to do it. And again, he's got himself really straight, but he can do the old, well, he's pinching a bit just to spin it with left English. Could do whatever he wanted. He could have done the big VP4 bailout draw shot. So 8 ball, bottom right hand corner, I would assume. Was he playing it into the side? No. So into rack number 28. And 3 ball goes in. Cue ball sitting very awkward. In fact, it can't get more awkward than that because the 6 ball just came in as a blocker. Push out. But you have to say that it's going to be a 1 ball rack here because they're all open, they're all available. Although, having said that, the 5 ball's just a wee bit fiddly where it's sitting. But the 5 ball does go through the gap between that 8 and 9 on the short side. Albinario all out for the pot. Well, I presume it was the pot because he ended up hooking himself in the 2. I can't believe that was my attempted safety. Has he left enough room? I think he has. Yeah, he has. Oh, look who's arrived in the room. Well, this is up in the air as to how he gets this 5 ball. And he won't have a better opportunity. Well, he's got a slight angle. Now, if he just gives this a bit of a smack to use that angle, he can sort of get across a wee bit. There's no way you're going to try and get to that gap. No, he decided rather than playing the... You know, he could have banged that harder to try and get the stud to work with the slight angle he had, but he's taken his medicine, he's left a higher cut, and that's the reason he's missed it. Well, Albi has the edge, a very fine edge, but this 7 ball is the target. If he can get around those 2 rails and miss the 9, this could be ugly if you're Matt. And it's ugly. But there's enough room to jack up and spin and kick the back of that 5. But it's come out. Cue balls come out. So, Albinario, there is an angle there. He can go forward and around the corner and over to the left side for that 6 ball. But he should be 14 apiece here. Well, this match, the way this pattern is going, unless somebody starts to take control, we thought Albinario was finding a gear, but that quickly diminished. But unless somebody starts taking control, we're heading all the way here. Now, I heard something go. 3 ball has gone. No shot in the one again. And this is what's killing. It's killing the rhythm for both of these players. The push out called. Well, he's left an edge. I think he may well get stuck back in here. I can't think why Matt wouldn't put him back in. Yeah, he's not having any of it. There's only a thin edge of that 1 ball available. And has he left him enough? I'm not convinced he has. He's going to have to turn this over if he's going to try and make the pot. Well, he did. He put a wee tweak on it. Got there. Got on the 2. And so this is a shot. Get to the 4. And you should be home and dry in this rack. Well, he would have liked to have been a bit closer than this for comfort. Well, he's got to also decide where he wants to put the cue ball. And he's so focused in that, he's forgot about the 4. So there's a mistake from Matt that could well cost him the lead again. Let's have a quick look at that 8 ball. Plenty of room, no worries there. Well, probably just come back or go up top and around the corners, either or. Well, you're thinking that sooner or later somebody wants this title and is going to come on strong, but they need a big favour with this break. And 3 ball right side. And once again, although Albie can see the 1 this time, and he does have a pot, and it should be all out 100% for the pot, with a guarantee that he's very unlucky that he can't get a pot in the 2 ball because it's sitting over the pocket. But this is dodgy into the side, but right into the heart of the pocket. This is dodgy as well. Trying to nip up for this 4 ball. Again, controlled it pretty well. Just overhit it slightly. Would have liked to have had a straighter shot so he wasn't bumping the 5. I mean, he can still avoid bumping the 5 if he plays the cut up into the corner, but he's hoping this 5 ball's going to end up good. And he has, again, judged the pace. Yes, he was going to bump it, but making sure he didn't bump it dead on the rail. So there is daylight again, but this time it's for Albinario. And we're getting closer and closer to the business end of the match. After 1 hour and 25 minutes. So rack number, what, I have lost track, that 31. 21, I don't know, what the hell's the score? 16 and 14, I can't count. Anyway, Albi's got a 2-rack lead, that's all that matters. But, once again, the break for the follow-up rack has failed to materialise. So the push-out played by Matt, but this is a very, very thin edge. If you get this thick, you'll stay there for the cue ball. But he's got it. And he's got Matt in trouble again. Now, not a difficult hit going off the 2 rails. You need to try and kick the back of the one. But the problem with that is the 4 ball is keeping the 1 ball there or thereabouts. That was, well, it was a scratch anyway. I actually might have been a foul, I'm not sure, but this might be bad news for Matt. Albinario with ball in hand. And again, just getting a schematic diagram in his head as to where he's going here. So probably 4 ball up top, unless he gets really good on it to drop it into the side and hold for the 5. But the angle he's got now would suggest he's going to be going up table. Well, let's have a look. If it's just a little jack up and a stunning kill shot, he'll knock that 5 into the side, but he's going to be rolling out for the 6 into this corner, possibly. Yeah, if he just rolls it in and lets it roll out, I think he actually grazed the 6 ball there in the process. So now, 7 ball into that side pocket. And there's a crisis on here for Matt. He's going to be trailing by 3. And needs to find, well, he needs to get an opportunity to get back in here. And that's only going to come from the assistance of Albinario. Balls have gone in again. And this time, he's sitting very handily on the 1. We've lost the 2, 3, and 4. And this is danger for Matt's prospects for winning his first title here. Albinario. Well, would you believe it? Would you believe it? The semi-pro wiggle. He's hooked himself. He's having to tweak it again. And he's caught the 6. And there's the lifeline. There's the mistake. And the 6 ball is a slight problem, but it's going into the side or down table, whatever he wants to do. But That is an unexpected mistake from Albinario, just when it's looking like he's going to take this match away from Matt. The mistake has been made, and now what's going to happen? Because again, this is running out of time here. Matt's got to find a gear, and he has to find it now. Really, just to get back in touch. Oh, here we go. Trailing by 2. His destiny's in his own hands at the moment as to whether he's going to survive. Well, the ball has gone in. But what's it like in the 1 ball? And it ain't good. So now he's got to win the safety battle. Well, if he's going up top pot in the 9, he's not leaving a direct pot doing that. But what he is doing is making himself vulnerable to the response here, because Albinario has got choices as to what he can do here with a line of balls up there that he can try and find his way behind. Send that 1 ball back down the table towards us, somewhere near the 9 ball. No, he's not. He's just trying to stay up top and kill it behind the 4. Well, he's nailed that. Although it's not a difficult hit, obviously. But everything's up in the air. Now this is tricky either side that you're trying to skim away from this 1 ball. This is giving Albinario a head scratcher, this position. I mean, he could go all out for the pot here, but he's got no idea whether he'd have any shot to 2 doing that. So there's nothing predictable about what would happen here if he tried to actually pot the 1. I mean, he might hit the 5 ball, half ball and go up table and have a shot in the 2, but that we don't know. Let's see. He looks as if he's going for it. He's hit it full. He didn't glance off it. So now he's got the bank on the 2. And Matt's got his fingers crossed here as he tries to drop it in dead weight. Well, he has done. I thought he was going to bank it, but he's played the cut. And, well, Albinario grew a pair when it was required. Played the shot I was talking about. The only thing that went wrong with it is he didn't catch the 5 ball, half ball. He hit it more full. But at the end of the day, he played the shot and he's getting out because of it. And that's why Albinario is a champion. Saw the right shot to play. The 1 ball was not a gimme. But he decided that was the best option because the safety was dodgy. And again, the amazing thing with Albinario, and people have said it, is that, you know, he doesn't sit in the lobby here day after day, hour after hour playing this game. He virtually comes and turns up and plays in these championships. And he does usually pretty damn good in them. That's what you're up against. And Albinario back to 3 in front. And he can see the finish line. And Matt might be requiring an acero. He might be needing a big turnaround here if he gets a shot. You might need that to win the title, Matt. Not an acero, a Spectre Dawn, my bad. But you know what I mean. he's going to need to dig something out here big time. But he has to get to that table first. And I think Albinario, without a doubt, barring that mistake he made hooking himself, he's in full focus mode. He's got himself a bit straight, but well, again, he could have just finished inside and nailed himself to the 8 there, but he's got it fine. He's coming good at the right time. And I think Cobra's let out a big sigh, thinking, oh no, not again. It's looking like that at the moment. And the lead is 4. And 7 ball on the side, 2 ball in the bottom corner, 8 ball follows it in, cutting the 1, 3 ball wide open. And Albinario looks as if he's beginning to run away with it. And it could be that Matt's going to get a taste of his own medicine here right at the business end of the match. Because, you know, if you think your prospects are good in this final, you've really got to get away from Albinario early on and hold that lead and keep him at arm's length. And Matt had that 3-rack lead a couple of times, but he never could really get away. The lead is now 5, and Albinario's target is 5. And the break is dry. And of course, at this stage in the match, Matt's got no shot. I don't know that the cross bank is onto that 9. No, it isn't. It's going too square, that 1 ball. Now he's in 2 minds whether to play a push out or try and get the edge. But the problem is traffic here. That's the problem with this shot. Well, he's managed to get the cue ball up the table, but the 1 ball is wide open. And Albinario needs to just avoid the traffic as well, and he'll be on the 2. And no problem with that. And it's going to be a 4-9 combo, I think. And it's all running away from Matt. Albinario with the foot in the accelerator. But dry again, but this time, well, this time he's left a shot in the 1, but the problem with the shot in the 1 is where the cue ball wants to go. And the 2 ball's right next to him. Well, this is very touchy because anything thicker on that 1 ball, you're catching the 2. Is he trying to smack it off the back of the 8? Is he trying to get enough of it? No, he's trying to just feather it. Well, he's potted it. But again, He's not getting a roll. And I don't think he can get enough of it for the crossover bank. Oh, this could be... Let me have a look. Well, the one has got the two's got enough room just to squeeze past the 9, but is he going to try the billiard onto the 9? I don't know that that is perfect, but we're about to find out. No, he played the bank, misses the bank, gets second prize again. But if this 2-ball stays in the table anywhere in the middle of the table, Albinario could have a 2-9 combo on. He needs to hope here. He's trying to kick it in. Now, it would be crazy to go for the cut up the table, wouldn't it? Knowing that the cue ball's going to cross right side and probably come in. He'd have to go 2-3 rails maybe if he was going to try and come back across and still see the 3, but common sense has prevailed. When you've got the guy down, just keep him down. Well, the kick is on, but he's going to have to put a bit of left English in this, and that's the judgment you have to rely on as well. Well, Albie's not really get that much room for the pot up in the top left-hand corner. He's got the cut into the side. He could even just try a billiard onto the 9 off the 2. He's tried the billiard and he hasn't judged it. But again, he's more or less got away with this, I think. No, he hasn't. It does go. Well, this is a big shot for Matt. I mean, it's the first time he's had a shot and he's cut it into the 8. There was not that much room. So now Albinario has to make sure he either stays in the middle of the table, leaves a high cut in the 3 to be assured of having a pot and knowing that the 4's at this end of the table into the side, or going right up table beyond the 6, and he's done it. Well, there was a little glimmer of hope, albeit a glimmer of hope there for Matt. And I think that's been extinguished, or just about to be. If Albinario can come out of here clean, and there's a big gap to come out, just like that. Has he got there? Right, well, he's on the 4, and the 5 ball is straight in past the 7. So Albinario is going to be 3 racks away from yet another Virtual World Championship to his list and his collection that he's built up over the years, not only in VP3, but predominantly now in VP4. And Matt might have played his last shot. Dry. Once again, though, I don't think he's got much on. Or has he? Oh, he does. I thought that cue ball was running behind those balls there. The time I turned it round, suddenly everything was wide open. Well, the 3 ball's a big problem. He's trying to get below it. And, I mean, that's a great shot in terms of the fact that he can nail Albinario. But he's trying to just tickle this onto the 4. See, that needed to be that needed to be right on the 4, and he's actually bumped it, and it's such an easy hit for Albie. Okay, he doesn't really know where this is going to end up, but Matt should have, he should have left him at least 2-3 rails to get to that 3 ball there. Just hit it too hard and bumped to 4. Well, here's his chance. He's finally at the table with a decent opportunity here, checking this up again. Well, I mentioned I called it a blitz from Matt in that match with Spectre Dawn, and that's exactly what he needs now. He needs a blitz in these remaining racks that he requires. He still needs 10 racks to get to the finish line, and Albie needs 3. So Matt needs a big chunk of these to steal this away from Albie. Right up to just beyond the halfway stage of the match, it was sort of ended up neck and neck. Matt having that 2-3 rack lead, and then Albinario finding his way into the lead, and then building up that lead to where we are now. 3 ball in the side. 1 ball is in play. All good so far in the follow-up rack. 5 ball comfortably goes past the 5. Well, I say comfortably. You want to be good on it to make it comfortable. Yeah, you want to be sending this to the far side of the pocket to doubly sure, or as near as you can get to it. One apiece now. Well, I said Mark Shark's not an umpty. So Matt is going to be trailing by 5. Well, he would have liked to stay in the middle of the table there. You don't want anywhere it's squeaky bum time and having to make cuts. Suddenly these become more difficult. At least they do to me at this stage. Six ball right side. 1 ball. Oh dear. Well, he could play it off the 5. He needs to get creative here, but the billiard onto the 5, the carom onto the 5 with the 1 ball and in off would be the shot. If you're not playing a safety, that is. I mean, he knows that that's a shot if he wants to try and stay at the table. But it's a big risk. That 1 ball onto the 5 into the pocket. It looks as if he's trying to hide, or he's contemplating trying to hide. He's in 2 minds what to do here. I mean, he could overcut the 1, send it behind the 5 and 4 and duck up for cover up table. Well, he was convinced he could try and squeeze that into the pocket. There was no room to do that, I don't think. But he hasn't left a pot on, which is of paramount importance here. Well, maybe he was playing the safety. Maybe he had planned it that way, but he could have tried the combo off the 5. It was a risky shot. Well, Albinario hits the one ball pretty perfect on that half side, but he's brought it into play though. And Matt has his chance from the safety. And it's no miss now for Matt. He can't afford unforced errors. He's got no room for manoeuvre, or very little room for manoeuvre, and pressure in every pot. But this is what it takes to win these tournaments. You've got to show your mettle, hold your nerve, and produce the goods when it matters. My nan made me Angel Delight. But I'll tell you, it must be 40 years since I've had Angel Delight. It's got to be that long ago. I only ever liked banana and chocolate. Oh dear. Wow. What a mistake that was. And just when we're talking about not making errors, that's the biggest howler of the night there from Matt. What a mistake he's made there. He was obviously trying to pinch a bit to stun that cue ball up the table for the 7. And what a mistake he's made. What a mistake of a maker. That's from a lower low, by the way, for anybody outside the country who doesn't know what I'm talking about. Well, that is going to hurt Matt big time. He knows it. I mean, he'll be so annoyed at that. You know, just one loss of concentration. That's all it takes. And that, again, could be his last shot. Just what he's done there. And it's a big 2-rack swing at the wrong time. If you're in Matt's corner. Albinario 2 away. And I think it was a 4-ball on the side, a 2-ball on the side, and he's plumbing the 1. Probably the wrong side of the 1 slightly, but he can just drop down on the short side of the 3. 2-ball has gone. Well, he's on the short side of the 3, and he can come down on the short side of the 4. In fact, he doesn't need to, because from that angle, the 4 comfortably goes. But he is down in the short side. And this, I think... Hasta
la vista, baby.
I think Arnie said it. Six ball looks tight. Well, it's off the rail though. But he ideally wants to get pretty much up there with a wee angle. He's got to get it flush and leave himself in the middle of the table. He doesn't want to overhit this and end up below the 7. Or whatever he's doing, he needs to be getting it into the table. And that'll do. So Albinario on the hill. And it'll need a miracle. Who predicted 25-17? And who the hell's Bondi again? Remind me who Bondi is. Is that Coldest Pillow? Aye, 25-19. I thought that. No bullshit. Yeah, you're not doing any second choices. Yeah, I don't need to look back. we're not having any of that fiddling the figures routine. Well, Albinario's had a couple of balls on the break. On the one ball. Around the angles, into the table and high enough for the cut and the two. Now, the 8 ball's just an annoyance here. It just bugs you. It just means you have to do that bit more with the cue ball. But it's the 3 balls wide open into that top left-hand corner. And he's handled it well. Needs to get off the rail. So this will just be a dink. I don't think he'll do any acrobatics. Just a dink and well, he's actually dinked forward and run around, but he didn't have to do that. But he's already got the Swedish meatballs on the go for celebrations. So after 1 hour and 57 minutes, it's Albinario, who is the 2025 virtual 9-ball champion, and we'll go and look at his list of achievements. It doesn't make good reading if you're anybody else in this game, because it's another title for Albinario by 25 racks to 17. And congratulations to Albinario. He came on strong when it mattered at the end. He held it together. He got back into it because he was behind for a big chunk of the match. And then he started to build up that lead, and he kept Matt at arm's length. But that missing that 5 ball, how the match could have finished if Matt had run that rack out and then got another break going, we'll never know. But that was a howler of a miss on the 5 that he made when he had the table at his mercy, and it might have changed the match back in his favour. We don't know that. In the meantime, looking in on the match that Slim's covering, is still 1 apiece, and Mark has built up a hefty lead, 81 points to 11 in rack number 3, and on a run of 30 at the moment with a forced follow or a carom off the 5 to the 3, and he's missed. See what happens? I don't even need to go into the room. I just need to look at the stream and I can immediately jinx him. And his run ends in 30. So anyway, that match is still going on Slim's channel. You can head over there to see the end of that match. In the meantime, are we all agreed that Cobra is the winner? I'm going to go and double check anyway. Once the stream's all done, I'm going to check the live stream chat, and I'll get it verified 100%. But anyway, in the meantime, if I can come out of that, in fact, hang on, I'll go back to the bloody lobby and I'll click the link. Oh, and I've got to log in again. I can't be bothered with this. Carry on. Have I typed that in right? I was going to have a look at the payout there. Right.
Where's the cue ball going?
We never heard John Virgo very much tonight. Right, so Albinario the champion, and he wins 2,465 $. Matt the runner-up with 1,200. And it goes back. I hate this bracket. Have I ever told you I hate this bracket? It goes back to those in round 5 in the one-loss side. They get $240 $. So they don't quite get their entry fee back. And then you've got $330 V for round 6, $450 V for round 7, and $615 for round 8. And then the semi-final loser, who was Acero, gets $820. And if we then go to, I'm not even going to bother looking at all the stats. If we go to these stats, if I can get the thing to load, it seems to be dragging really slow. Why is it taking so bloody long? Oh, by the way, I'm logged back in as 9ball.com. You see that? Thanks very much, Simon. This thing's died a death. Oh, there we go. Right, so if we go to champions, and that loads up, there's Albinario. Now, Cobra's had a good run because he's won the last 2 major championships, the 10 ball and the straight pool. Albinario before that, and Bedhead ran in with an 8 ball world title. Albinario before that, and Cobra with the Cowboy last year. Albinario again, and the 9 ball and 10 ball. In fact, Albinario was the defending champion. I just realised that. He's defended his title 2 years in a row. He's won the 9 ball. Nobody mentioned that. Chiku winning the 3 cushion, Albinario winning the black ball, Acero winning the straight pool. Albinario. You just see his name all over the place. He's like a bloody rash, so he is. And if we actually go into the count, you'll get Albinario 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He's a bit like Novak Djokovic. He's in 17 major titles. Djokovic is trying to win his 21st or something like that, is he not? So Albinario streaks ahead here. Cobra, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Albinario's 7 world championships ahead of Cobra. Mind you, having said that, Albinario's got the advantage that he was in... was Cobra in VP3? I don't think so. Anyway, if he was, he wasn't there right from the start. But anyway, Albinario streaks ahead of everybody with titles. Did Matt not get to the final of the snooker a couple of years ago? I think that's 2 finals Matt's been to. And he's been in the losing side twice. Matt will tell me that himself. There's Allenville, another very good player who doesn't come here anymore. But I'll tell you, if Allenville was around, Albinario wouldn't be winning that many titles. If you put Allenville and Cobra into the equation along with Albinario's not winning as many as that had he been around, because he's a very strong player. And Barker's having won the snooker back-to-back. We never saw him again after it. Bedhead with 2 down there. So that is it, folks. Congratulations once again to Albinario. He's just too good. He's too strong, and he doesn't even need to practice. What does that say about the rest of us? He's just so bloody good. Make sure you hit the like button. Hope you enjoyed it, but go and head over and give Slim some company and give those guys some support in that match. That looks as if it's got a long way to go. Thanks for joining us, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be covering some of these Cowboy matches during my time off, and no doubt we'll have something pretty soon for you. So take care and see you again soon, and we'll bid you good evening.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.